So what we're doing today is identifying the 5 values. So remember, value is level of darks and lights, and we're going to simplify each of these values into a shape and identify which ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So the first thing that we're going to do is start with a key on the bottom, and the key will identify darks and lights, and we don't have to worry. Ultimately, we're going to do a monochromatic painting, but just for now, we don't care that much that the colors are monochromatic or that it makes much sense. We're just going to pick darker and lighter colors based on some color pencils that we have. So the first thing we're going to do is the darkest dark, and I would recommend just doing a Sharpie marker for that, and that's right here. Okay, then we're going to do our lightest light, and I'm going to use a yellow pencil for that. And the middle is going to be red. And in between the middle and the lightest light is going to be orange. And in between the middle and the blackest black, darkest dark, is going to be this purple. So ultimately, I'm not sure this is going to be an attractive color scheme, but it will help me to identify all the different value placements. So we're going to do the lightest light first. It's easiest to do the lightest light and the darkest dark first. So if you want to start with the darkest darks, you can, but I'm going to start with the lightest lights. And it might be a little bit hard to see in this video, but the lightest light is like right here. And this is a little bit lighter than down here. So the lightest light is right around here, and I'm going to color that in. And you want to get the shape. If there's any subtleties with the shape, you want to get that. So I've got another lightest light right here. Color that in. And here, the top of the nose, and it bends down a little bit and goes just about like that. The chin, a little bit right here, up here a little bit, and this bottom of the chin portion. The teeth, here, a little bit here. It's a little darker on this side than on this side. And maybe this one a little bit bigger. Here, maybe this is a little bit wider. And this other cheek right here. And then we got a little bit on the top of the eye. Just a little bit right here. That's pretty small. And then the ear right around here, here, and a little bit in there. Okay, this I think maybe just a tiny bit up here is the lightest light. Most of that hairband is a little bit darker than the lightest light. Now I want to take this and do my darkest darks. So the darkest dark is here, and I'm going to simplify it right over. This is where you have to kind of outline, and you have to decide, is it over here or is it continue here? Where is the cutoff point? And you have to make that decision. Some of them are easy, like that's an easy decision. That's just the hair right here. But it gets a little harder as it goes into the shadows. Like here, where does it begin and end? You have to make that decision. It comes over here, comes up here, through here, a little bit over here. So there's no magic point that I'm saying. I'm not following an existing line. I have to make the line. Right here, underneath the teeth, sides of the mouth, and a little bit underneath the mouth, but not all the way, and a little under the nose, a little bit under this cheek, right here, but not a whole lot. And then definitely the eyelids with the lashes and the eyebrows. And this runs a little bit down here past the eyebrow, and the eyelashes here. And then definitely the hair, but not all of the hair. Like around here, this part of the hair is a little bit lighter. So I'm not going to include that in the darkest dark. So this idea about separating out an image in 5 values is one that's been used for a very long time, and it creates strong images because it has a full value scale, and the full value scale creates for a stronger image. Then just a little bit in the ear, right here and here, not too much. And that's it for the darkest dark. Now it gets to be a little harder, so I'm going to go with the purple next, which is my next to the darkest dark. So I have purple here. I have purple here, and again, I'm not really, there's no magic place between the purple and the red. I'm just trying to discern the areas that are almost my darkest dark, but not quite. Going over here, a little bit here, a little bit on the side, right here. A little bit on the hair. Slight amount right here. And then a tiny bit here. And a little bit underneath where the lower lid is. Tiny bit under the nose. And that looks like my purples. Okay, next I think I'm going to do my oranges, which is the next lightest. So right next to my lightest, where is my next lightest area? And I think it's right about there. So I'm going to outline and then fill in with orange. Over here. And a little bit over here. A little bit over here. A little bit on the nose. The nostril area is a little bit lighter. And then the rest that should be left should be a middle tone gray. I'm looking at the lips and thinking I need to do a little bit more on the lips. So we might have a tiny bit of lightest light right there. And then the rest of this is a little bit lighter, a little bit darker than that. Okay, so the rest that I should see should be like right in the middle gray. And as I look at this, I'm pretty much seeing that. The rest is just right in the middle. Not too dark, not too light, halfway between lights and darks. Maybe give a little bit more here. Okay, so then I put in my straight grays. I think I'm gonna put a little bit more in right here. A little bit more here. Okay, just double checking, see if I have any other lights in there, or whether I only have middle grays now. Okay, so now I have the middle grays, which I'm using red. This one probably could be a little bit more purple. Right here, the hair. So this is practicing. If you want to take color pencils that are, if you have a whole bunch of color pencils, or you can use markers that are, you know, you have a whole bunch of color oranges and reds, and you can get them to look a little bit more monochromatic. You can use them, that's fine. But this is just practice. So the practice here is us being able to identify what areas are basically darkest, lightest, and middle gray. Darkest, lightest, middle gray, and in between. So basically we want to convert color into value. So we want our darkest and lightest value in color, and that's what we're trying to identify here. And finishing this out. So what we're doing here again is just practicing finding these values and relating these values to color. And I forgot about over here. I need to get some oranges over here. And also in here. So this is here. This is here. But I've got to get my oranges here too. And a little bit of orange here. Going into here. And going into here. All right, so this doesn't necessarily look like an accurate representation of color, but it should look like an accurate representation of value, and that's what we're looking for in this practice piece.